The crypto and Bitcoin bottom is not going to be in until line A and or line B is in. That is simply the way it's going to go down. And also, Bitcoin behind me is flirting with the blue origin line that you can see right here. It's getting ready to break it. In this video, we're going to zoom right into there so you can get the exact coordinates and you know when stuff's going to really accelerate to the downside. And I'm going to show you how Bitcoin has done that in the past as EMAs push price below that blue line. Just take a look how significant this chart is. And again, these are called origin lines. My channel is the only place on the internet that you're going to be able to find this because I made them up and they just happen to work. So I roll with it. And that's why you subscribe to my channel if you're a new viewer, and make sure you hit the bell and hit all alerts, because I'm going to help you with your crypto journey for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. Are you ready? Let's go get it. For a quick heads up, this line is the master origin line of NASDAQ. Bitcoin cannot separate, or in theory, cannot separate from traditional markets until line A is hit. It's simply, that's the way it's going to be. There's going to be no incentive for that to happen. Once price gets here and NASDAQ and stock market it probably has a bounce and then breaks through it, at that time is when investors from a large standpoint, whale/hedge funds, that's when they might fly to Bitcoin as safety as opposed to risk. This is called risk on. So NASDAQ/tech stocks, that's risk on. Bitcoin and its white paper, it's the whole intent, was the exact opposite. And the irony about Bitcoin and how it's moving is it's trading almost exactly with risk on assets. Exactly. Literally to the 5-minute candles. And you can tell, as I covered in my last video, so go to my channel, watch my last video, and I tagged where I show you the off switch. You can even tell when they turn off the algos. I'm telling you, it's real. You can see it. And yeah, it's the thumbnail. It says off switch. I show it to you and I tag it. I think it's at 5 minutes and 20 seconds in. All right. So this correlation won't change. Hedge funds are not going to have that incentive from a whale perspective until this happens. And as you can see, it's going to take a little bit for it to get there. If you make a descending channel, something to this effect, this is roughly the average slope that it gets there. Let's say the timing on that is going to be somewhere around December of this year. That's the bare minimum earliest that Bitcoin can possibly have a bottom. And my guess for bottom is February of 2023, but it could be a lot longer, folks. Like a bull market it might not be until late 2024. However, there is some hope for Bitcoin to separate from the stock market and to stop going down once the stock market, or this chart, which is the NASDAQ Composite Futures, hits this line. It will hit this line. It is only a question of when. It is not a question of if. All those people guessing for bottom simply don't watch my channel. All those CNBC people, they don't know what they're talking about. Literally. They can just come to my channel and see that this chart works, and the bright blue line is a master origin line. It is always hit. It will always be hit, and there are no exceptions, and there probably won't be unless it's from a down perspective. Really, it might just be used as resistance. It might be the upper portion, for like it was here exactly. But it will be hit. It's not a question of if. All right, so I just wish people on national television knew a little bit more than what they're talking about, since that's their job. All right, now Bitcoin, we're going to zoom into here right now. And okay, if it hits the next origin line down, all right, let me zoom in just a little bit, not a lot, but I will zoom in a lot here. Okay, so make sure you're staying tuned, because I'm going to show you when this shit's going to start really flying down. And it's going to be very, very precise. If you go to my channel, I perfectly guessed what the stock market was going to do, both for the bear market rally exact top, using Dow Jones as the indicator, called the exact top on the exact day, and what it was going to do as Jerome Powell spoke. I did exactly what I was thinking. So I'm on a roll here with understanding how price is going to go, since price of the stock market and Bitcoin is getting ready to resume the trend. It's going to be a lot easier for me to tell you or give a strong and very accurate guesses here. So right now, the origin line, I will zoom into this, but just for large perspective, it's at around 19.7. We're probably going to get a bounce there. I've covered this on my channel. The CME Bitcoin gap is down at 18.4. I will make a box down there. There are two targets for what Bitcoin is about ready to do during this downside move before a strong bounce. So 18.4 is over here. If it flies through, and so that is 18.4, roughly. If it flies through that, which it has just look behind me here. What happened after Bitcoin fell off of this origin line here? It went past the next one and is now touching another one down, right? In one fell swoop, it almost went 1, 2 down. So, and it happens all the time. It doesn't have to go one bounce. Sometimes it skipped 4. So to say that 18.4 is the lowest point that this just one move can go to fill the gap, it can fly through there. All right. I'm not making that guess that it will. I'm showing you the possibilities and showing you all the reasons why. And I'll make myself small and we're going to zoom in to finesse this. I want you to see the bigger picture. Starting off with NASDAQ. This shit ain't over. Bitcoin's not at a bottom. Stop thinking that shit. Your bear market signals aren't going to work because Bitcoin was born in a bull market of 12 years long in the stock market. All corrections were V-shape. That is over. All Bitcoin's bottom signals were in a market where everything was V-shape. Everything was V-shape. That is now gone. Therefore, your bear market or your bottom signals are trash. It's not going to work. Facts in the charts were facts towards the 12 years of a bull market with V-shaped corrections. Those facts are now not facts because it's not a V-shaped correction market straight up. The facts are now gone. They're irrelevant, right? Okay. All right. So, for example, the fact that, let's say my favorite color is green, Cosasverdes green things, that fact is irrelevant when we're talking about elephants or something. Like, yeah, it's a fact. Let's say it's a fact, for example. It might be silver. I like silver and green. But when we're talking about elephants, that fact doesn't matter, right? Who cares? So the fact that bottom signals are kind of signaling, those facts don't matter because now we're talking about elephants. The elephant in the room is we're not in V-shaped correction territory. All right. So anyway, so you better get the mentality that this can go down because it's going to with an extremely high likelihood. And again, if we go back down a little bit more, if this move comes down, I mean, we're looking at if it really dives fast, which I'm not saying it will, but if it dives fast, well, I mean, honestly, that's October 1st. If it hits this line by October 1st, that's 14.7. If it takes a little longer to do that, let's say the middle of October, that's 15.3. That's the and so let me make myself small just so new viewers, okay, returning viewers, you already know my origin lines are freaking precise. Discord members, and again, I give them tutorials on how to set this up, and I provided it to the YouTube Cryptillion tier, membership tier as well, but links to the Discord community with visual instructions in the description section, and I post some bomb charts and my live chart links on for the weekend on Twitter, Cosasverdes with the number 2, and there's a join button right below this video. If you've never clicked it, just click it. It's a kind of a funny 90-second video. I show you what you get for each tier, and we'll keep rocking and rolling here with this analysis. All right. So, I mean, just look how price bounces between and among these lines. When did this move down here accelerate? When it went below this origin line here. And where did it go to? 2 origin lines down. So this one skipped 2 origin lines down, right? This one just bounced between 2 origin lines for quite some time. I mean, hell, that was probably over a year. Nope, it wasn't a year. It was 225 days. All right. So these origin lines are pretty precise. Let's say, so back here, it did go below one origin line, went straight to another, went sideways for a considerable amount of time for a compression move. So that was only 30 days, then went down to another one and went down to another. So this is like current price. So we just had the compression move And we use this roughly as support. It actually didn't come down straight to it. It's kind of surprising. I think because there was a weekly or some 200 big EMA hold on up here. Anyway, we're getting ready to go below it, right? And it's going to accelerate down. So at bare minimum, as it goes below this line, it is possible. So now let me get rid of some of this stuff. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so now that we understand these lines, it is possible that 19.7 is hit, or it goes a little under it, you know, something like this. But it's going to start using this possibly as resistance. And it could go sideways for a while. If that happens, listen, so I have some people come on and say, that's not what happened. Like, yes, I said if. I'm trying to show you how price will move in 3 different ways. All right, I'm making 3 reasonable guesses on how it is so you're prepared. All right, so don't take one and say it didn't happen. Well, I gave you 3 possibilities. Come on now, I'm trying to help. So stop leaving silly comments, people. Like I'm trying to help, and those people leaving the comments are the folks I'm trying to help the most. Listen, if. So if it goes sideways on this line like that, then that means it's going to take longer to go to the next origin line down, right? Which means the bottom target won't be quite as drastic. So if it does that, let's just say it takes that long to get there, that would be. And it's going to hit this next origin line, folks, like with an extraordinarily high probability. That's still 14.5. And what month is that? Oh, that's still September. It could go sideways. It's just slightly. Yeah, I guess it could go sideways a little longer. Anyway, but in order to not go below 15K, so let's just put it this way. If this move is not going to take Bitcoin below 15K, then it has to use this origin line as resistance. It's got to like kind of just go. It's got to do that kind of stuff. And then drop down and not go under 15K. That's really the only reasonable chance it has. That's it. It's seriously that simple. Now, when will Bitcoin fall? Now we're going to finesse this bitch. When will Bitcoin accelerate down here? Well, it's usually, so imagine, so see this line? You have, which is support, okay? It's acting as support because price is on top, but you have EMAs coming down to smash Bitcoin below it. And so you have typically the 4-hour 10 EMA, usually not strong enough to overpower the support. The daily 10 EMA often is. The weekly 10 and the daily 89, that's usually what gets it a big fat move. And if Bitcoin allows the weekly 10 to shove it down, it's going down 2 origin lines, and we're talking a lot farther down than this. So you kind of want this to drop with the daily 10. All right, so let's throw those EMAs on to see which one's getting ready to shove, like almost like Mario going through a tube or whatever, Mario hitting his head. These EMAs are getting ready to shove it below here. So let's go dive into here on the very small time frames to see. Here we go. I'm going to put on the 4-hour 10 EMA first. Oh, and this origin line not being hit is also a reason why this move isn't over. It doesn't have permission to get a big bounce until it's hit. All right, the 4-hour 10 EMA is down here. So Bitcoin has a pretty strong chance of coming back up, wicking above this guy so from current price, easily go. Let me zoom in more so you can see this better. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. I'm on the 30-minute chart, but this is the 4-hour 10 EMA. So Bitcoin could easily come back up to this little stutter step over here and wick above the 4-hour 10 EMA. It's extremely unlikely it's going to get above that on this current move. And mark my words, it's extremely unlikely. So it could go as high as 20,600. That is possible. But it's not going to go much higher than that. Actually, 20,700. Right around 20,700 is as high as. Let's just say this bounce has a very high likelihood. Okay, so if it bounces here, if you get a baby bounce, this box is like the 80 percentile, like 80% chance that whatever happens here, that this box gets it. Does that make sense? Because after a big drop, if you go back in time, the price just goes up to 4 hour 10 and then goes down and make lower lows. It takes 3 to 4 tries. All right. So you can actually expect, especially if this horizontal is broken, that Bitcoin will want to go up to the 4 hour 10 at least to about here. If this horizontal is broken, if Bitcoin gets above 20,300, it will initiate a move up to 20,550. Okay, and that will be a wick above the 4 hour 10. Very, very short term time frame stuff. But as we walk our way down here, though, and it gets rejected again, so let me go like this. This red line, so this red line will keep going like this. And what is going to happen? And again, if you're new to my channel, you need to be able to anticipate the way price will move. So what shape is this going to make with the 4 hour 10 as resistance, shoving price down, and this origin line as temporary support? What shape? No, it's not a freaking wedge. Oh gosh, so many people were talking about wedges. It was making, oh my God, Bitcoin was not in a wedge. It's potentially going to make a triangle. All right. And so this triangle, as you can see, where does that end? That ends tomorrow over the weekend. And that's in the morning. So this isn't very far out. The 4 hour 10 has the chance. That's less than a day away. So Sunday morning, this weekend, you need to be looking at the 4 hour 10, because if Bitcoin doesn't get below it, this move can happen Sunday/Monday. Actually, probably Sunday. That's Sunday morning at 7 a.m. New York time. So really, all you need for short-term price action, okay, is this. The 4 hour 10, and this is over the weekend. Throw the 4 hour 10 EMA on your chart, and all you do is use the MTF EMA indicator. Let me make myself small here, or just disappear. MTF, see it down here? The very last one, MTF EMA by FX_Massa. And use that so see here, I'm going to hit the gearbox. 4 hour 10, make it red or make it rainbow, I don't care. Just throw it on your chart. If Bitcoin cannot get above that line, it's going to accelerate down. And the next target really is the gap fill at 18.4, because the target below that is in the 14, is under 15K. Right? However, Bitcoin does have a chance to bounce here and get above. So what's the next EMA that would then trap it down and shove it below this line? It does have a chance, but if it doesn't get above, it's going to accelerate down to 18.4 this weekend. Mark my words. It's an if-then statement. I'm not calling for it. I'm giving you an if. If it happens, then 18.4 will be hit this weekend or before Monday market open. I'm telling you, that is a true statement. It's going to accelerate fast. Okay. Well, it's an extremely highly probable if-then statement. I can't, price doesn't really care about what I say, but it's very, very statistically probable. So the 4 hour 10 is your first thing that you want on your chart. Oh, if and only if price gets well above that. Okay. So this first pass, it's not going to. So if this move up happens, it's not going to really get above this. It could get above it a little bit and it's going to come down. It'll do a failure pattern at best. All right. That's just the rules of Bitcoin. After a strong move down, here, I'll just freaking show you. Watch. Okay. Strong move down. First time touching, rejection. Second time touching, rejection. Third time touching, rejection. Fourth time, failure pattern. Fifth time, rejection. Sixth time, rejection. Seventh time, finally got above, used it as support. That's simple. All right. Big drop down. First time, rejection. Second time, it actually got above. That's not very common. That's why I say it's not guaranteed, but it's highly improbable. Big drop down. Here, let me zoom in. This is the 4 hour 10. Big drop down. I mean, it was aggressive. Yeah, an aggressive 6% or 5% move down. Under the 4 hour 10. Rejection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Failure pattern /6, 7. Big drop. It couldn't get above in 7 tries. So the chance of it getting above after a big drop on the first try is it's under 10%. And if you go back in time, years, it's the same thing. It literally is how Bitcoin moves. Even if it's only a 5% move down, if it's aggressive and goes below the 4-hour 10, the first 2 times, really, you actually have a way better than 50% chance it gets rejected or does a failure pattern and goes below it. Are you seeing this? That's why it honestly looks like this weekend, Sunday or Sunday night, leading into Monday, 18.4 is, man, it might be probable. It's close. It is close to a 50-50 chance. We're looking at 18.4 within 48 hours. So throw on that 4-hour 10. Do yourself a damn favor, okay? All right. Now, just like me trying to plead with people who might be wanting to hold Tether, don't buy Solana. Last year in 2021, don't buy Solana until it's under $30. Like the 4-hour 10, throw it on your chart, okay? All right. Now, this attempt, it's under 10% chance it can get above and stay above the 4-hour 10 because that's a big drop first time to touch it. All right. Now, after it hits here, the second time, it is possible it does a big failure pattern above. That's when you throw on the daily 10 EMA. Or what I like a little bit better is actually the 1-hour 200. It's the same thing mathematically. It just rides it. Okay. So you can see here that it's up a little higher. So Bitcoin, if it can get above the 4-hour 10 on the second try, which is possible, it actually might happen. You might get a decent bounce here on the second try. So the first try, like this, come on now. And this is if the 4-hour 10 does not shove Bitcoin below this blue line, but rather the daily 10 or this orange line, which is the 1-hour 200. It's the same thing. So if Bitcoin can get above the 4-hour 10 after touching 19.6, 19.7, remember, I'm saying if, this orange line is then going to trap Bitcoin. All right. So it's not going to be so Bitcoin will not fill out this whole triangle because the first attempt above this red line is not going to be big enough to make this triangle, for example, this big. Does that make sense? It's not going to be a triangle that big because it won't hit up here on its first attempt. It'll be more like this. And honestly, it might look just like this. But what timing is that? So you can be prepared. That's August 31st in 4 days, roughly Tuesday. So for the weekend, the 4-hour 10 EMA. All right. If Bitcoin cannot get above that on Sunday, because it's Saturday, that ain't happening. If it gets above, it's going to come right back below it with an extremely high likelihood because of those 4-hour 10 rules after a big drop. Through the weekend, the 4-hour 10 and this line are going to get you through. That's really all you need on your chart. As simple as that is, come back to me on Monday and I'll be right. Like with a very high likelihood. And if I'm wrong, you can throw it in my face. That'll be fine. Those comments will be merited and I will be like, yes, I was dead wrong. Okay. All right. So if I'm wrong, then you can shove it in my face. Haters. All right. Or just people who like to be cute. That's fine. But I'll probably be right. Probably. I wouldn't be saying it if I weren't probably going to be right because it's probably going to happen. So that's through the weekend. All you need. Two things. Origin line, 4-hour 10. If Bitcoin can hold this level, roughly 19.6, 19.7 area, and this is an ascending line, but it's not ascending too fast. So you can roughly use a box. So that only says 19,750. So you can do about a $200 box between 19.6 and 19.8 if you don't want to set up this origin line, okay? It'll get you through. So use that box, 19.6 to 19.8, as a horizontal with the 4-hour 10 through the weekend. You need nothing else. If Bitcoin can hold your box on by Monday, when you wake up Monday, like, yay, I'm going to work, yay, because that's what we say on Mondays, right? If it's at your box or above and it hasn't dropped below, then throw on your daily 10 because that is what's going to happen. The daily 10 will be smashing it below. And if it does, it's going straight to 18.4 or lower. Or lower. Because there's really nothing there. But overall, though, when it does go below your box with the daily 10, if that were to happen, the ultimate target will be down here. It will have bounces and valleys to get there. It might not be a capitulation, like just a crazy ass move, but honestly, man, it could be. Going in, it was a nasty Friday closure in traditional markets. Like you might see for sub 15K next week. I would give it a 30%, about a third, between 30 to 35% chance you see sub 15 next week. It's not over 50, but it's significant. I mean, hell, if you had a 33% chance of dying in an operation, that's significant, right? I mean, it's significant. So just remember, shit is going to go down. It's going to go down. I wish I could pull up that video where the guy's on the boat. It do go down. Yes, it do go down. Like this shit is going to drop. And this is why I've been anticipating this. I've been essentially begging people, if there's a rally on any of your altcoins, which most altcoins did get a rally in August, right? Ethereum went up 110%. Be holding Tether. And a lot of my comments, if you new viewers, go on my previous videos. Look at all the people saying, hey, thank you for saying hold Tether. I did it and I'm so much better off. Or some of them made the comment, I didn't listen to you last time you said it and I got screwed. I'm doing it this time. Just go through the comments on my other videos, new viewers. I'm telling you, that's why returning viewers, hit the thumbs up. New viewers, before we get out of here, make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to help guide you as best I can. I make mistakes. I'm going to help guide you to have a more profitable crypto journey. Remember, shit is going down. I gave you the two things you need through the weekend. If 19.6/19.8 is held, then just throw on your daily 10, get rid of the 4-hour 10. You won't need it. And Monday, Tuesday, if Bitcoin can't get above that, it's going straight to 18.4 or lower. Click this video right freaking here. If you want to see how my live charts are set up, it's a recording of it, but I run them through the weekend open for YouTube. Through the week, it's only available to Discord and Cryptillion tiers. And click this video right here. If you're pissing around with the futures and you're new at it, I give you advice you cannot find anywhere else, and it's invaluable. You got Timified Worldwide. Peace.